So can you tell me who Luey Northern is?
Luey Northern, that's funny, is actually a pen name I came up with when I was younger. And when I got back into the music scene when I was older, I was too lazy to change all my social media content, so I just stuck with it.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, but I've lived in Atlanta, Georgia, Washington, D.C., Accokeek, Maryland, so all over the East Coast.
Has any of the places like really inspired you to do music?
Funny you say that. I feel like most of the places I've gone to, like, I've been around like musical people, like everyone from my dad when I was a kid to the people that I dealt with when I was growing up. Anybody who was around me was always outside rapping, freestyling, singing something. So music has always been a pretty big part of my life.
So what would you say got you started on music?
My dad, definitely, like, cause he was a producer and a singer. When I was growing up in the house, like, it was always around me. I used to fall asleep to the sound of like him banging the keys with his headphones on, making music. So like, there's never been a point in time where music hasn't been around me. I can't imagine living without it. Like, it's really the only thing I know. I can honestly say I'm like 100% confident and competent, and it will always be music, and it always has. That's just a part of who I am. Breathing inspires me to do music.
So are you working on anything right now?
I am. I'm working on a double release. It's an album and a mixtape called The Crown Victoria. I'm looking real forward to putting that out.
And where'd you get that album name from?
So my first car, when I was stationed in Texas at the time, I paid $1,700 for a car with no title. For months I drove that thing around and had like all types of crazy stuff happen with and around and involving that vehicle. That whole mentality that I had back then was different than it is now. So I titled it that, and I wrote a lot of the songs on it some years back. So it was weird to kind of go back through those lyrics and say them now. Like, some stuff I just changed altogether, just because it's such a difference in who I was and who I am now. But I wanted to embody that mindset as much as I possibly could on this album.
So are you currently working with anybody on the album?
I don't think there are going to be any features on the album. It's not done yet. Anything could happen. But I've definitely got a couple of features down the pipeline. Looking out for Jetta Ebron's album that should be dropping sometime here in either October, I think it is. I'm looking forward to seeing how she does with hers. Longtime friend of mine. There's some other names on the pipeline, but I ain't gonna put nothing out there just yet. You know what I'm saying? Until we finalize everything.
So if there's anybody that you could work with on a track, who would it be?
I would say either Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, or J. Cole. Those are like three pretty big influences of mine as far as like where I got my style from and like music and people that I've really listened to growing up. But I feel like doing a track with Schoolboy would be fun as hell, but I feel like I need to get out the military before I even take that route for obvious reasons.
What do you personally get out of making music?
I can just be myself without any inhibitions to anything or anybody. I own all of my own equipment. I mix all my own stuff. I master my own tracks, and I don't ever plan on signing a record deal. So I'm gonna always maintain that creative freedom. So that's what it is. I mean, that's the whole point for me. Is just to have that place to go.
And what do you want other people to get from your music?
The songs I write, the stuff I talk about is all, again, from a real place. I know I'm not the only person who's dealt with certain shit, and I just want somebody out there. If I can touch one person or alter the course of the action that person might take in a situation, you know, upcoming for them, then I've done my job, even if it's just one person.
Where do you see yourself going in like the next couple of years?
I don't even know where I'm going next week. I'm gonna follow the music and the money. I'm gonna follow what feels right. But as far as on paper, I mean, anything can happen, man. You never know. Things change from week to week.
So do you have any advice for any like aspiring musicians?
Yeah, have a plan. Don't just do music and think just doing music is what music is about. If you expect to be like successful in the business of it. I'm not saying I am, but I'm speaking from what experienced people have told me and what I'm starting to see the more I get involved in it. But you don't just do music and one day it just blows up for you. You have a bunch of other ends of it that you have to put into it. You know what I'm saying? You have to know about your marketing. You have to know your fan base. You have to know what it is your plan is supposed to be. And then you have to execute that shit over and over every day, even after it becomes boring. You know what I'm saying? Because music is a job just like anything else. It's not all fun and games. It just looks like it is.
Have you ever felt like knocked down or feel like what keeps you going?
I feel knocked down all the time. And what keeps me going for it, to be honest with you, positive feedback from other people. Sometimes I'll hesitate on putting a song out or whatever, and I might put it out, and one person will tell me they liked it, and that'll be enough for me. I'll be like, yo, you know what? Maybe I'm doing what I'm supposed to be. Other than that feeling you get when, this is like inexplainable. Most musicians will get what I'm talking about though. There's a feeling when you're creating something, when you're in your space, and you just know. Like you put some shit down and you like, yo, this is hot. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. This is my shit. When that moment hits, it's like, yo, fuck the money, fuck everything else. I don't even care. Like, if I can just have this feeling one more time.
If you could thank somebody for getting to where you are right now.
I was in a program called Tops and Blue during my time in the military, where we went, from place to place, country to country. And while I was on the road, I hated it to a degree sometimes. Like, it was hard. Different time zones, different people. It made me hate music for a little bit. Looking back, I'm glad I went through that. I'm glad I learned that perseverance, because if I hadn't, I would have stopped being serious about doing music. I would have stopped having those dreams of like one day rocking a real stage in front of people and stuff like that. It wasn't happening fast enough. I wasn't seeing the returns on it. The more I continue to grind at this shit, the more I continue to promote my shit, the more I continue to learn about this shit, it's only gonna improve. And I can honestly say, if I hadn't gone through that program, I probably would have never got that direction from those veterans who was in the game before me. I probably wouldn't even bought this equipment.
Do you think like your environment growing up helped you as well?
Definitely. That kind of shaped me, because like, all right, so I lived in like not so great neighborhoods as a kid, from 17th and 4th all the way down to when I was living in Lakefield in Atlanta, all the way up to when I was in DC. I could always rap, and people always fuck with me because of that. Getting good enough at that to like get recognition from people. That recognition kind of kept me out of trouble at times. That right there is what kept me like, everybody else is like, hey yo, let's go do this. I'm like, nah, son, I'm about to be writing. I wasn't even a good rapper when I was a kid, if you ask me now. I go back and listen to some of those old recordings, I think I sounded like trash. But they liked it, and that's what matters. You know what I'm saying? Because I fell in love with it.
So how do you want people to remember you, or what would you want people to think about you?
Man, I just want to be remembered as a good person. You know what I'm saying? I've done my share of good shit, I've done my share of bad shit in my life, I'm sure we all have. But I just want to be, if I gotta go down the route of like being remembered and shit, I just want somebody to remember me as like somebody who helped them along in life. Because I've had some people that have helped me along in life that I'm never gonna forget. And that's just what that is. That and some money, because I ain't trying to die broke. That's it. Thank you for doing this.
I wanted you to end something with like, I want them to think of me as Luey Northern or something.
Oh, yeah, and I want them to think of me as Luey Northern. She told me to say that.
Yeah, don't call me that big whitey. You see this liquor all in my system. We get to fighting, the coppers gon' shoot me. You must be tripping. I live in later. You thought we must think quick to correct you. Swift and as quick as lightning. Yeah, I can use better words than a word on the street. Everybody gon' trip. We stay on this path. Everybody gon' die. If we do better things, everybody gon' live. Then die anyway, bro. Tell me what's the point when they point and shoot. Over bearskin joints said I wanna see the world, but I'm stuck here. Cause the cuffs can't go through customs. Bitch, I'm a